Hello, my name is Cal, and in today's tutorial we're going to be building a simple calculator app example in Android Studio using Java. The first part of the video we're just going to be doing all the layouts, so I'm going to show you how linear layouts work with weighting and probably take about 5 minutes to build the layout, and then we're just going to use a JavaScript library in order to actually do all the hard work of the maths for us. And then in the last part of the video we're going to get the to the power of button working and as well implement some brackets. So yeah, if you just want a pretty basic calculator, it shouldn't take too long, and I hope you enjoy building this calculator with me. Cheers!
Nice, let's get started. So I'm just going to create a new Android Studio project. I'm going to call this calculator app example. First thing I'm going to do is add some colors. This is a pretty standard calculator color scheme, so I've just gone with it. It's black, gray, and orange. Just copy and pasting those hex colors into our colors.xml file. And then I'm going to head back into the main activity. I'm going to change this layout to a linear layout. I'm going to set the orientation to vertical, and I'm going to set the background color to gray. Next, what I'm going to do is create another linear layout inside our linear layout, and I'm going to give the height 0 dp, and I'm going to give the weight is equal to 3. And then basically this is going to be our calculator results. So I'm just putting in a text view here. I'm going to give the text color white and a little bit of placeholder text just so we can see what's going on. So yeah, calculator results, and just setting the text size. With this calculator app example, we're really going to be able to see the beauty of the layout weight and how useful it is in terms of setting your layout so that it works for many screen sizes. So rather than dealing in absolutes, we're dealing in percentages of the screen. So with that said, you can see I've created another linear layout underneath our calculator results. I've given it a weight of 7, so 70% of the screen for the bottom and 30% for the top. And then I'm creating another linear layout inside of that linear layout, and this is going to be each of the rows of buttons. So inside this linear layout, I'm going to create a button. I'm going to give it match parent on the height, and I'm going to give it a weight of 1. But on this time, the width is going to be 0 dp. So we're going to use that same trick, but instead of being a vertical orientation, we're going a horizontal. And then I'm just going to put in text CSC, and I'm just going to copy and paste that down 4 times because that's how many columns there are in a calculator. And then just do a bit of tidying up. So I'm going to change the background color of this C to red because this is going to be our cancel button. And then I'm just going to change a few of the values here. So making that the divide button. This is going to be the to the power of button, and this is going to be the brackets button. Nice one. Next, I'm just going to create a quick dimensions file. New XML file, and just declare a text size in here. I'm calling it calc button text size just because I don't want to have to rename or redo each single button's text size in case I want to change that in the future. So yeah, just going to assign that text size to each one of these buttons here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste that whole linear layout, and I'm going to change this background color back to null and change the values. So we've got 789 is the next row of our calculator, and then the times button. And I'm going to copy and paste 2 more times. I think I've got enough rows here to make the calculator. Yeah, that's the right amount. So yeah, just changing all the values now. And I'm going to set the equals button to have a background of orange. And I'm also going to set the weight to 2, so it takes up half the screen width-wise. Heading back up at the top, for some reason I didn't like the look of this cancel button, so I've changed the text to red and the background to null. Let me know what you think looks better. I couldn't really decide. But anyway, I'm going to continue on with our calculator results. So we're actually going to have 2 text views. We're going to have the top, which is our workings, and a bottom text view, which is going to be the actual results. So you can see that there. I've named that calculator workings and calculator results. And then I'm just going to do the same trick. I'm going to set the height to 0 and the weight to 1. So they take up half the screen each. And I'm going to say gravity center vertical for both so that the text is in the middle. And I'm just going to make the text size of our results a little bit bigger. So I'm going to make that 45 SP. And I'm actually just going to put in what it's actually going to look like. So I'm going to put in 5 and 2 plus 3. And next thing I'm going to do is just give it a little bit of padding so it's not right up against the edge. So padding right is equal to 30 dp. And the next thing I'm going to do is set the text alignment to end, and you can see what that does. It just makes sure that the text wraps towards the end, so it's aligned to the right. Quickly just give both of those text views an ID. Next, I'm going to create an on-click listener for each of the buttons. So I'm just saying Android on click. I'm calling this first one clear on click. and then I'm just going to create that method in our main activity, and then I'm just going to do the exact same thing for each one of our buttons. So I'm just doing some final color adjustments, but basically that's our layout finished. So we've got our calculator, well, at least the way that our calculator looks, all sorted. Nice. So I'm just going to create a couple of text views to start. Calling the first one workings text view, the second one is results text view, creating a method called init text views, and I'm just going to find both of those text views by their IDs. So they're the IDs we gave before, workings text view and results text view. Next, I'm going to just declare a string, call it workings, and then I'm going to create a new method called setWorkings, and basically this is going to get called from each one of our buttons, and basically all it does is whichever button you click on, add that to our workings. So if you click on 9, put 9 up there. If you click on 6, put 6 up there. So yeah, I'm just going to call this method from each one of our buttons, each one of our onClick methods, and give it the appropriate value. So yeah, you can see I'm giving it to the power of, and divide, and 8, and 9, and so on and so forth. Next, what I'm going to do is actually take our equals onClick method and put this up the top because it's a bit more of a special one. I just thought it'd be easy to have it there. And then in our clear onClick method, it's pretty simple. We're just going to set the text to nothing, and we're going to clear our workings string. And I'm just going to set the results text view to nothing as well. Next, we want to just go into our build Gradle and add the following dependency. So we're just going to type implementation. We're going to implement io.api sense Rhino Android 1.0. Basically, this library does a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to actually doing the maths of our calculator. Nice, so just heading into our equals onClick method, I'm just going to declare a double, calling it result. Initially, it's null. Just going to say script engine, I'm going to call it engine, is equal to new script engine manager. And then I'm just going to say get engine by name, and then the name is Rhino. And then we're going to say result is equal to, and then just cast to a double, engine eval, so evaluate our workings. So given our working string, I want you to do the maths and put that maths into our result. And then I'm just going to surround it with a try catch statement just to catch whenever someone puts in, 6 times symbols and then a 4, well, you can't do maths off that. And in that catch statement, I'm just going to make a quick toast message just to let the user know that they've input something that's invalid, so you can't do maths based on whatever they've put in to the calculator. And then I'm just going to say if the result is not equal to null, I want you to set the results text view to the results of our double, so just casting that double to a string. And if we build and run this now, you can see we've got a pretty basic calculator working, so you can times by whatever, you can clear, you can do division, you can do subtraction, and you can even do some addition. It's pretty cool, like that library really does a lot of the heavy lifting for us. You can see though that the to the power of and the brackets aren't working yet, so if you want to see how we get that working, that's what we're doing next. This may not be the best implementation of the brackets, but I'm just going to do a simple toggle. So I'm just saying left bracket is equal to true, and if our left bracket is equal to true, set the workings to the left bracket, but also set left bracket to false. And then if left bracket is not true, we want to set the workings to the right bracket and set the left bracket to true. So just a simple toggle. And I'm just setting left bracket to true on our clear. Nice. So next we're going to try and get our to power of working. So just on our equal onClick, I'm just going to create a new method. I'm calling it check for power of. And I'm going to create a new string. I'm going to call it formula. And I'm going to create another string. I'm going to call this temp formula. So both just initialized to have nothing in them. And then we're just going to change that result into evaluate our formula. And then in check for power of, I'm just going to create an array list of integers, so index of powers. Then just using this style of for loop, I'm going to loop through all of our workings characters. And if we find a character that is to the power of, so if char index, add that index to our index array. And then I'm just going to say formula is equal to working and temp formula is equal to workings. And then I'm just going to loop through each of our index of powers. And I'm going to say change the to the power of symbol into our formula. And then I'm just going to say formula is equal to temp formula. I'm going to create another method called isNumeric, and it's going to take a character And basically what we're going to do is just going to say if our character is in the range of 0 to 9, or its decimal place, return true, otherwise return false. So if our character is less than or equal to 9, or greater than or equal to 0, or it's a decimal place. Next, I'm just going to declare two new strings, call it number left and number right. So basically what we're trying to do is find, in this example I've put up on the screen here, we're trying to find the 3 and the 63. So to achieve this, we're just going to loop through, starting at our index, plus 1, so 1 to the right of our index, until we get to workings length. If our character is numeric, add it to number right. Otherwise, if our character is not numeric, I want you to break. So I want you to stop what you're doing. And then we're just going to do the exact same thing, but in reverse. So starting 1 to the left of our to the power of symbol and working our way down, so I minus minus. If our loop finds a numeric character, add it to number left. And if you find a non-numeric character, I want you to break. And then we're just going to say string original is equal to number left plus to the power sign plus number right. And I'm going to create another string, and this is going to be changed. And so basically I'm putting in math.pow plus our number left, plus a comma, and plus our number right. And so basically our script can understand this math.pow, so it's saying do the calculation of math to the power of, given our number left and number right. Next I'm just going to say temp formula is equal to temp formula dot replace with the original and change. So basically what this does is it sticks a chunk of string where the original was. So substitute the original string with our new formula string. So a quick bit of tidying up here. We actually want to be looping to 0, not length, and I just forgot to put in an equal sign here. But yeah, we should be able to build and run this, and you can see the to the power of seems to be working now. It's not perfect, like I'm sure you'll be able to break this if you really tried, but it's just a good example to see how you can build your basic calculator and then improve on it. So you could, like what we did with the power of button and the brackets, you could add any calculator function you like. It's just going to take you a bit of time to build the button. So yeah, if you like the video, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.